So there's a good chance that you might not be a fan of salmon, and that's okay. A lot of people aren't. But I'm gonna show you a recipe today that just might change your mind, and it's not gonna take you any time at all to do it. Salmon was always something that I liked just fine. I think there are a lot of people that do like it, and that's great because there are so many benefits that come from it. But I'd be hard pressed to find someone who's going to be really excited or jazzed about salmon. And that's kind of the category I fell into. I know that it's got great benefits like omega-3s and a good source of protein, potassium, and on. But I was never excited about salmon night. It was always just a really great quick fix on those evenings I really didn't feel like cooking. And it still is. But I found a way to make it, which was such a just brain shock when I realized it, because I come from Louisiana and we like to blacken things there, and I'll explain to you in a minute what that is. But basically fish, chicken, we eat a lot of stuff there blackened, and it really, really brings a punch to the flavor of whatever you're eating. So I thought maybe there's a way that I could do a blackened salmon, and I gotta tell you guys, it took it to the next level. So I'm gonna show you that today. We're also gonna do a really easy side for this so that this would hopefully become one of your favorite weeknight favorite meals to cook, right? Because it's so easy and tasty. So let's get started with what we're gonna need. This is gonna be one thing you're gonna be really pumped about because you need so few ingredients. This is literally it. We have salmon, right? Now, I actually went and, believe it or not, caught this salmon this morning at the grocery store on sale. And it's about a pound, and I have cut it into 2 8-ounce portions. Now you could do a smaller portion if you like. This is our dinner. We usually like to have a bigger dinner, so we're gonna go with 2 8-ounce portions, but you can divide it however you like. We also have 2 tablespoons of butter melted, as well as blackened seasoning. Now, anyone who's doing low carb or keto realizes that carbs can creep in places, and spices are no exception. So I personally like to make my own blackened seasoning. I will put the recipe in the comments below, or the description rather below. But if you want to buy it, no one's going to kill you. Just go ahead and buy the blackened seasoning. But again, I think you'll find that it's really, really good if you make it yourself. So follow that description, see what you think of it, let me know in the comments. So we've got about a tablespoon of the blackened seasoning. I've got a little bit of salt and pepper just to kind of finish things out a little bit, and then we're going to get to the side item in just a minute. But for now, we're going to take our salmon cold. You don't want to have this room temperature or anything like that. I've got a heavy skillet that is oven safe, and I've been preheating this at about a medium temperature. Now, the reason I do that is because I'll tell you a word about the temperature of the fish. We like to have salmon a little bit more on the well done side, okay? The FDA says that it should be 145. Different people like it on the rarer side. We like it a little more well done. So after it's cooked, I actually put it into the oven to let it finish out there. But you don't have to do that. But either way, you want to have the salmon start off cold. And we're going to take our 2 tablespoons of butter, and we're just going to brush that on. And you might see the butter, it's going to start to sort of harden up a little bit, but not too much. If you're not familiar with the term blackened seasoning, or blackened fish, blackened chicken. Blackened just refers to the type of seasoning you're using and the appearance of the fish or chicken. It does not mean that it's burned. And I think that's a very big common misconception people have. Not burned at all. In fact, it's just the way that it cooks. It's very, very tasty. And I'm going to show you here in just a second. But we're going to take our blackened seasoning, and we're just going to sprinkle this on top of the fish. And I'll show you this in a minute once I get it on. But again, I said probably about a tablespoon or so. Maybe half a tablespoon per fish, maybe a teaspoon. It's really personal taste, so you might want to kind of taste the seasoning, see what you think, and then go from there. Less is more. You can always add more later, right? But you can't undo something you really screwed up, so go easy in the beginning. We have our fish. It looks like this. This is exactly how you want it to look. I'm just going to press these seasonings down a little bit here, right? Just to make sure they're good and adhered. And then we are going to put our fish seasoning side down into the hot skillet. I'm going to go ahead and turn the vent on right now because I can already tell you it's going to be going crazy. I'm going to rinse off my hand real quick. Just one moment. I don't like to turn my back to the camera. I feel like it's so rude. Like you probably care, but still, it just seems really rude to me. So I'm going to grab some tongs, give them 2 test clicks. Remember, make sure they work. The dry skillet, no oil, no butter short of what's on our fish. Seasoning side down, 2 minutes. Don't touch it. 2 to 3 minutes. We're gonna check it here in a second. Hard as it's gonna be, just let it go. It's really smoky. I'm trying not to cough, but it really makes you want to. But you know, pain is good food. Good food is pain. Just like working out. So this is going perfect. This is what you want to see. Again, don't be alarmed. This is normal, right? It's going to taste so delicious, I promise you. And the reason that it blackens, just to tell you while we're working on this, is that the milk fats within the butter are what kind of get really toasted and bring out the flavor in those seasonings, okay? So that's what's really going to bring this home, and that's why the butter is such an important component, which is a friend to us on the low-carb keto lifestyle. No problem at all. So I'm going to let this go for about another minute, and I'm going to come back, and then we're going to flip these over and go from there. So let's check on our little fishies and see how they're doing. They've probably seen better days, but okay, so we carefully turn it over, and that's exactly what you want it to look like. Now I know, again, just about any other thing you're making, that's going to be a cause for concern when it looks like that, but this is exactly how we want it to look. Our blackened seasonings have blackened properly, using those milk fats like we talked about in the butter. And now we're gonna let the skin side go for a little bit. Again, you could leave it in the pan for about another probably 4 to 5 minutes to bring it up to the temperature you want. I like to put it in the oven. As I talked about before, I like to use an oven-safe temperature. You could use a quick read, but I find it's easier just to buy the oven-safe one, leave it in there while your fish or chicken or whatever you're making cooks. That way you get an accurate reading in real time of where that temperature is. You get that meat exactly where you want it to be instead of guesstimate and then have to embarrass when you have really dry chicken or fish that no one likes, no one wants to eat. They're gonna be polite, but they hate it. So I'm just gonna let this go for another couple of minutes, cut away again. Then I'm gonna move this over to the oven and we're gonna work on our side item that's gonna finish out this meal. So the salmon's going in the oven at 425. I'm gonna let that go. Again, I'm gonna watch the temp, but it's probably gonna be about another 10 minutes, okay? So in the meantime, whether you're doing this on the stove top and finishing it out there completely, or whether you're moving it into the oven to finish it there, what you can do in the meantime is do your side. Now I'm gonna do another video where I show you my favorite way to make green beans. But for today, we're gonna do what I call FND, which means fast and dirty. Fast and dirty because we're gonna use green beans in a bag that come perfectly ready to go, washed and trimmed, throw them in the microwave 4 minutes. They're going to be perfect, and I'm gonna show you why. It's a little secret ingredient I like to call butter, and it makes everything better. So I'm gonna put these in the microwave first, let them go for I think about 4 minutes, usually what I do, and check on our fish, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so the fish is almost done. I've got the green beans fresh out of the microwave. You know, the best way to make anything, the microwave. And so I've got my pot here. I've got 4 tablespoons of butter already ready to go. And this is the easiest, I'm telling you guys, easiest way you'll make green beans. Take your microwave green beans while they're still hot, open them up, put them into your pot with the butter. So they're gonna melt that butter underneath, right? Then you're gonna take maybe like half a teaspoon to a teaspoon, depending on your taste, of seasoned salt. Put that in, we like to use Tony's. About a half a teaspoon, pinch, something like that, of the pink Himalayan salt that we all love so much. And of course, a little more if you're using unsalted butter, a little less if you're using salted butter, totally up to you. And about a half a teaspoon of black pepper, plain from the store, nothing fancy. Put your lid on. Now, here comes the really tough, advanced chef skill part. Just shake that shit. Just shake it like that. It's not gonna be very hot. You can mix it all around, and it really just gets your green beans good and coated. Now, those are done. We're gonna take off the lid and pray like hell that these look like they're supposed to. Beautiful, beautiful. You have Mrs. Doubtfire slaving away in the kitchen type of green beans, and it literally took you 4.5 minutes, 4 of which was the microwave. So we're gonna put these to the side and check on our salmon. Okay, so this salmon is looking fine. This is exactly what we want it to look like. Again, any other meal, you screwed up. This meal, it's exactly how you want it to look. It's got that nice blackened flavor. You can tell baked in. The butter's gonna make it delicious. We've got our F&D green beans. We're gonna put that with this, have an amazing meal. You're gonna get your healthy fats, you're gonna get your proteins, you're gonna get your low carb. The green beans aren't too bad. I mean, if that's the worst carbs you're doing pretty good. So if you're liking this recipe, go ahead and give it a like. I would appreciate that. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions or anything you're wondering about. And if you like these kind of videos, do me a favor and subscribe. I really appreciate that. Click the notification bell so you'll know when I put more videos out. Hopefully have another one coming next week. And in the meantime, you guys have a great day. See you next video.